Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to CDR's Tier 3, round number 10. I've got my volume on full, so that's going to echo. I'll turn that down. We are back today with Monza, one of the most looked forward to races on the calendar. Probably the most overtaking opportunities we've had lately as well. So hopefully we are in for an exciting race. Good evening, Howsey, and as he says, good luck to everyone. Evening, Pint Size. So as we jump into Q1, I don't think we're going to see many sort of playabouts with strategy. It does seem sort of a set thing for this track, but we shall see. 19 drivers on the grid today, so only one off of a full grid. And is Lucas going to continue on his good form in Tier 3? In fact, let's take a quick look at the championship table as we see, I'm assuming, Kane doing his usual trick and jumping straight out of the garage. Let's have a look at the driver standings. So, 1 point in it between Luckman and Lucas, so let's see how that goes. And then not too far behind is Howsey also, with Marshall just on his tail. So still a lot to play for, especially coming into the final sort of 3 races of the season. 3 races after this one, of course. We've got the Circuit of the Americas, Baku, and then we have Suzuka, I believe. So who's going to be the first one to settle off? It looks like it's going to be Luckman. Everyone out on the soft tyres, as expected. And I fully expect everyone to just do a one-stop. Now, today's rule for the stream, guys, is Formula 2 on Tuesday around this track cannot be mentioned. Obviously, slightly different rules for the Sunday race. Very much looking forward to seeing the carnage into turn 1 on the first lap. As Luckman about to lead us onto the first flying lap. Let's see how he does on board. So DRS wide open, saving some battery, probably for the back straights in the second DRS zone, hard on the brakes. Got to nail this to be able to keep the car going properly. A little bit deep there through turn 2. Then the long turn 3 that is naturally flat out, hugging that inside line. And again hard on the brakes after 180 mile an hour. On the throttle early midway through the corner. As we approach Lesmo 1. Just one downshift there, run it up onto the curb. Into Lesmo 2, a little bit of a slower corner, but gets it rotated well. Second DRS zone. This is where you can really start opening up the battery. Get a nice run into the Ascaris. Probably my favourite combo of corners in the F1 calendar. Love that section. If you get that right, it feels fantastic. And then as we come up to the Parabolica, tightest on entry, and then just widens out, gets the battery draining. Don't get much DRS, in fact you don't get any before the line. And puts in a 120.12. Who else have we got on a lap at the minute? Kane with a 20.4, so there's definitely time to be gained. See Pint Size putting a 20.8. I believe the next to cross the line will be Anderson, who's been on absolute fire in qualifying. Very quick driver, just being a bit unlucky in the race. And there he goes, crosses the line with a 20.2, followed closely by Merck. Just starting their lap, that will be the Merck of Clay. Anderson give him a bit of a tow there into turn 1. It's a very, very good line by Clay. Curley sets a 21-1. Going to see a lot of track evo here. James Brown, first one into the 19s with a 19.8. I would expect that by the end of Q3 we are pushing the 18s. Thing is, with this track, it is such fine margins. I expect this to be the closest qualifying of the season, as we Rabbit sets a 19.9. I think we will now see Luckman dive into the pits. Nerf must have had a bad lap there. Put us in the 23.3. One of the Astons starting a lap, is it? No, it's Kane. He's going for another run. He's off for 3 laps. Surprised to see that. Now let's see what Clay can put in. Clay with a 20.3, so only 2 drivers in the 19s so far. I expected to see a little bit more. T-Bag just starting his lap. Hate the chicane. If you take too much of that inside curve, it just bounces you across the line and you don't get the power down or the turn for the second part of the corner. Didn't quite catch the apex there. Evening or so. T-Bag's, oh, he's invalidated, that's why he's keeping so much battery. Got Chip starting his flying lap now. The fellow Red Bull, well, ex-fellow Red Bull driver, I have dropped out of the F1 races. I'd rather spend my time commentating for you guys on a Sunday. While desperately trying to keep my F2 championship dreams alive. Chip opting for 3rd gear through the chicane, hard on the power, slightly short shifting just to keep the traction. Couple of downshifts there for Chip as opposed to Luckman, who I think just rides out the gear to higher revs into the first Lesmo. This straight is actually meant to be pretty long, but it just seems to get eaten up by these cars. Could have maybe carried a little bit more speed through there. Hindsight sets up a 20.9. Evening, Clay. 20.3 is not going to get you through, will it? And 20.5 for Chip. Who else is out at the minute? T-Bag. Is T-Bag now starting a lap? Oh, he must have realised. Oh, he's coming in. Decided not to try set a lap. First lap on the track in an F1 car, so I'll take it. Well, if you're F2 sort of racing is anything to go by, I'm not holding my hopes very high for you, buddy. It's also absolutely draining the battery. You could hear how high the revs were. He gets on the power, short shifting up through the gears to avoid the traction control. Decides to hold his battery. I personally would be using it down the main straight. Oh, and he bounces over the curb, and that's where you lose a load of time. Cannot be taking that curb that aggressive. And he's backed out. Probably the right thing to do backing out there. Who have we got at the minute? We've got Wab on a hot lap. Decides to keep it in 3rd. Through turns 1 and 2. Maybe just bogs down a little bit. A little bit slow through there, but tidy. Just needs to get time on the board. We've still got with 7 runners with no times on the board. 8.5 minutes left of this session. Still yet to see Lucas set a lap as well. So far, James Brown the fastest of the pack. Will it stay that way? Or is Lucas going to pull out one of his magical laps and take a lot of time off? Still not seeing much track Evo. A lot of drivers still not improving that much. Also, with that aborted lap, did set a 27.9. Wabbit is going to put in a 21.7, which is not going to be enough to get through, you would think. Gold's now currently on a flying lap, coming up to the Parabolica. I'd love to see classic tracks on F1. Bring back things like Istanbul Park, and maybe even just put the banking in Monza. As Gold sets a 19.5, Lucas as well did get that magical lap and has put us into the 19.4s. 4 drivers so far in the 19s. Pint Size is about to finish what looks to be another fine. Oh, he's gone very, very wide there. Doesn't seem to have invalidated, and he will dive into the pits. So Howsey, the driver on track at the minute, needing to set a lap. Teabag as well after the invalidated first run, and then Riker and Gainful still yet to run. This is one of those tracks where one good lap can set you up very, very nicely. That's very smooth through the chicane. Into Lesmo 1, just the one downshift. Oh, it goes for 2. Into Lesmo 2. Got to be careful not to run it wide there. It can be very, very tempting to let the car drift. But the entire run off, if you take that entire run off, that's it. That is an invalidation. Can cut a lot of the first curb in the Ascaris. Try to avoid cutting the last curb. Does unsettle the car a little bit. And feels like he's safe already with a 20.3. Just struggled to get the car turned in there in Parabolica. And Howsey puts himself 8th. Clay may live to regret that. There's a lot of drivers that can still improve. Luckman as well also feels safe on 20.1. Mihai, welcome buddy. Still got the lights of Gameful, Riker and Teabag to set laps. Teabag at the minute is on a lap. Saved a lot of battery as well. Approaching 200 mile an hour there into the chicane. Risking it with an ego retire. Start calling you Colin. That's very smooth through Lesmo 1. Can he get Lesmo 2 nailed? Yes, on the power early. Pretty much as soon as you turn into that corner you need to be on the power. Is this not a flying lap because he's got all of his battery left and is invalidated? Oh dear. Teabag needs to get this lap together quick. Hindsight will not be happy with where he is currently. Need also a comment to disappear so I can see if people are improving. Very good Lesmo 1. Bit wide in Lesmo 2. Gets the power down, the DRS open. Is Clay going to see himself tumbling down shortly? People coming into the pits, setting up, get another set of tyres on. Hindsight draining the battery down this back straight. Need to save some to run to the line though. James Brown with the 19.8 retires. You would think that anything even remotely in the 19s would be safe. In hindsight, there's 20.2. That's cleared down another position again. Still a lot of drivers to get some runs in. Gainful is now on his outlap. Teabag, I believe, is trying to push. Chip improving by 0.2 so far. Don't worry about you. Mate, the track evo around Monza is nuts. And there are drivers behind drastically improving. Still yet to see Riker put a lap in. Riker got a quali back for footage issue. Go to the Ben's tab. Yeah, T-Bag does have that quali ban. And Chip also puts himself into that sort of top 7, clear dropping down to 9th now. I'm expecting to see some more people come out careless. T-Bag and Nerf won't get set at the time at Ion to be 2. Is Nerf not setting a lap because he's reserve? Curly is improving this lap, just came off the throttle a little bit there. Through the parabolic, he needs to carry the speed through there, and that's 20.6 for Curly. It's an improvement of 0.4. May see Curly through. We will see how that goes. Who is currently out at the minute? We have Gameful still on track. Very, very smooth through Parabolica, just didn't throw the car in. Forza Haas says knee high. As Gainful goes 3rd overall, 19.7. And Riker is just not setting a lap. What is going on there? Unsure why Riker's not putting a run in. Wab's going to get his run. Pint size is definitely, as he comes around Parabolica, and compromises his start to lap by taking the grass. Let's see what speeds we are reaching down this main straight. Already up to 210. Maxing out at 214 there down the main pit straight. That was very, very smooth through turns 1 and 2. Great line through there. Is there any rules we need to be aware of regarding pits in Monza? Oh, and invalidates! Pint Size could see himself at risk now with that invalid lap. If Wab is improving, it will knock Pint Size out. Let's jump on board with Wab, see if he's improving. He is. Just over a 10th up through sector 1, and that is a much better chicane for Wab compared to when we last saw him. Lesmo 1, nice and cool. Throws it into the second. Lesmo gets a bit sideways and scrubs off a bit of time. Let's see how this sector 2 split is looking. Oh, and he's 4/10 up. That error by Pint Size could be about to drastically cost him. He may not get a chance for Q2. I think Wab probably doesn't realise that and he's just trying to give his all. Gets it turned in well to Parabolica, maybe a little bit wide. Gets on the power and will have enough battery, you would think, to be able to snatch that place away. And doesn't. Improved by not enough. A 4/10 improvement, but still needed another 6/10. So some big differences. Is Wab maybe running a bit higher of a downforce setup? And F2 it was practically 0-0. I'm not sure what it is in the F1 cars. That's going to be it for Q1. Lucas topping the leaderboard. Gold with a brilliant time of a 19.5. Takes second. Gainful, the late runner of the pack, was a 19.7. And we got the top 6 all in the 19s. Everyone else struggling to keep up there. We just wait for Kane's car to get parked up. There we go. So that is your Q1. Let's have a look at who is leaving us. Teabag with his full quali ban will not be taking part in Q2. Riker for some reason didn't put any laps in. Dan with no lap set either. I'm assuming because he is reserving. Nerf gets one lap in of a 23.3. Didn't do much, again reserving in, and Wab with that improvement on the last lap, not enough to knock anyone down into that bottom 5. So as we move over into Q2, we will see the track either. I expect to see a lot more people in the 19s. I would expect the cutoff to sort of be around the 20.2s if there is some track evo to be had. Anybody get the weather report of what we're expecting in the race? I'm wondering if anyone will risk going for the mediums. No, George Russell today. He was actually fastest in Q2, wasn't he? On the mediums, I think. Flood of cars leaving the garages already. And it's going to be the kick of Luckman out first. Closely followed by, I'm assuming that's going to be Kane. It is indeed. So 4 cars straight out. More leaving the garage as well. Everyone wanting to get a time on the board ASAP. Now if you've got enough downforce in the cars on this track, I do feel like you can follow closer and get that toe. But again, do you risk it? Kane seems to be sticking right to the back of Luckman here. Maybe just to try get some heat in the tyres. And then maybe we'll back off. Yeah, he's started to ease off a little bit now by the looks of it. Everyone out on track at the minute, bar Chip, Gold and Gainful. He may be just holding off for the traffic to die down. So here we go, the first lap of Q2, same as Q1, is going to be set by Luckman. Kane is sticking very close. He's maybe trying to just catch a bit of the toe. And the Haas is actually even closer. These guys are really trying to keep bunched up and get the toe here. Luckman hard on the brakes into turn 1, gets it turned in nicely, and then on the power. Is Kane compromising himself here, or is this strategy going to work with the toe? Gets turned in nowhere. Let's go also wrong turn. Oh, and that's... How did he not invalidate there? That definitely should have been an invalid lap, and this will definitely help Kane. He's now right up behind. He should be getting toe there, you would think. Especially as we come down this back straight. doesn't look to be feeling the effects of the dirty air, and he does dive straight to that left-hand side to try and get any slipstream. If he is close enough, the Haas looks like he's probably going to be getting more of a slipstream from Kane. I believe that will be Anderson. And Luckman, the first across the line at 20.7. What's Kane going to do at 20.8? And then the Haas dived straight into the pit. Curley with a 21.2. Housie sets the fastest lap of a 19.9. Then we see Clay with a 20.3. Rabbi, no one knows, with the 19.5. So we are definitely seeing people improving from last time out. Pint Size with a 20.2. James Brown with a 20.6. People are starting to get these laps in now as Osso's invalidated Chip on their first flying lap. Tim says, not out in Q1, we take those. We do indeed, and it seems to be running pretty well. Trying to maybe get a bit of a tow there, but the Alpine dives straight out of the way. Doesn't want to be giving any benefit to a competitor who may take them out of qualifying. DRS opens straight away. A little bit of battery burn, decides against it. Looks to be saving it for this back straight. 211, I think Chip is running a very low downforce setup. Because 211 leading up to the Ascaris is a very, very fast speed. Let's see how he does into Parabolica. Again, just a little bit wide, struggling to see people keep it tight into there. Here comes Chip across the line. It's going to be a 21. No, definitely needs some improvement. He's going to be safe in this session. Gainful now starting his flying lap. 212, maybe just a little bit more downforce than some of the others. Gets the car turned in well, rides the curbs well. A little bit loose on the exit of turn 2. Now I've seen some of the carnage from the other tiers, and obviously the F2 race that turn 1. Lap 1 throws up. I'm sure the stewards are absolutely rubbing their hands together at the thought of all the reports coming in. Although saying that, we don't see many reports from the Tier 3 guys. Very, very clean, respectful racing. Just like in F2, isn't that right, Dan, if you're here? Dan will definitely agree with that statement, I'm sure. Fastest second sector of the session for Gainful. Maybe just backing up that higher downforce, and oh my word, the Red Bull giving a huge tow to Gainful. What is going on there? I believe that was Chip. Absolutely massive tow, and that's definitely helps. Gainful puts in a 19.7. Hindsight now the only one out on track, setting a lap. Everyone else would be wary of using all of the tyres so early in the session. Yeah, I agree, Tim. Seems to be some inter-team orders. I mean, maybe so. I am your FIA for today. No further action. Keeping in tune with the CDR stewards, of course. In hindsight, about to come across the line. And that's a 20.7. Hindsight will want to find a little bit more pace than that, but you would think that anything like in the 20 flats would be safe. Kane is out, setting a new lap. Very, very close to that white line. Doesn't want to be catching any of the grass. Oh, very, very bogged down in turn 2. Just got a little bit loose. Lucas now out setting a lap also. Because Lucas just trying to do one run in each session and potentially save some tyres in the event of a safety car. The good thing about this track is even if there is any sort of crash, there tends to be a lot of room to avoid the barriers and avoid any potential safety cars. Unless someone just absolutely sends another driver into the wall down one of the straights. But I can't see that happening. Purple second sector for Kane. Looking very, very smooth lap. Gold and Lucas now on their flying laps. Lucas is going to be the one who comes across the line next. Kane draining as much of that battery as he possibly can. Maybe just didn't save enough for the run to the line, but sets a 20.9. You would think that is Kane through. Let's jump on board with Lucas. Lucas also just saving a little bit and a 19.2. Are we going to see Lucas hit the 18s in Q3? Gold is going to be the next one on the flying lap, or maybe James Brown, or is he just coming in? I hope James Brown was setting a lap and drops into the 19.3s. Oh, and that's going to cost Gold maybe a tenth or so, just catching onto the grass. Plays another good lap, and 19.6. Definitely seeing some track evo here. So Kane, Gold, James and Lucas just on the way back into the pits now. You've got this also. Let's have a penalty-free race, buddy. Please get out and set a lap. Because if you invalidate, you're going to be out. So who's going to blink first in terms of coming out for their second runs? Gainful's going to be the first one out of the pits for the second run. Followed by Curler, so the RB and Williams straight out. Kane loves to go for multiple runs on the same set of tyres. Maybe looking to try replicate Lando Norris. Push, cool, push. Which never actually materialised, it just ended up being push, push. See James Brown dive into the pits. So who's going to be the first? It's going to be Gainful. Those who have come into the pits do need to get these tyres on quickly when they get out there. They don't want to be getting caught up in traffic and not being able to put a lap in. Also still yet to get out on track. Gainful there drops right down the gears and piled on again. Is that going to cost him? That's going to have enough of a run. 200 mile an hour as he crosses the line. That's before he even had the DRS open. Gets the ERS burning a bit. 213 maxes out into turn 1. So it's probably smoking, says Tim. And wow, Gainful absolutely stamps on the accelerator there. Just lets the wheel spin up. See the split because of the chat boxes from the stream. Gets turned in there. Oh, manages it. Oh, is that going to be invalid? Oh, it just keeps it. Very, very close. Seems like a couple of people have got away with running wide in that first Lesmo. DRS open, what we're looking into the Ascaris 210, flicks it in, cut the first one. Maybe try and catch your wheel a little bit on the little divot through the second part of the Ascaris, and then just ensure that you are flat on the throttle and let the car run wide. Coming into the Parabolica tight, get it turned in. Hard on the accelerator and ERS, keep it tight, shortest run to the line. And what is this going to be for Gainful? And that's going to be the fastest lap of them all with a 19.1. Anderson also on the run at the minute. be looking to try and get up there. Very much doubt we will see Anderson drop out of qualifying. Sort of course his way into the Ascaris. Saved up a lot of battery here as well. Got a hell of a lot of battery. This could work well in the run to the line. Gets turned in very well. Probably the best turning we've seen so far on the stream into the parabolic, and then drains the battery. Could have maybe used a bit more down the first DRS straight and puts in a 19.9. So we are seeing more and more people push those 19s. Looks like Claire coming up to some traffic, or potentially just people setting laps. They don't seem to be diving out of the way, and these guys are giving each other a massive tow if that is the case. Not out of the way there, buying the Alpine. Needed to be. So to the Haas, and the Haas then does dive out of the way. So does the RB. Clay maybe just picked up enough of a tow there. Gets on the accelerator, lets it run wide, and then bring it back in for the shortest run to the line. What's it going to be? It's going to be a 19.6, and you would think that will be safe. How is Anderson looking? He's improving by 1.5 tenths. Ooh, and then backs out. Low fuel mode. Oh dear. Anderson is underfueled and now could be massively at risk. Oh, pint size is invalidated. That's going to be pint size out, you would think. So unless Curly and Osso can put in absolute stonkers of laps, you will think that Anderson will get away with it. Couldn't see the split because of the chat box. Kelly is improving, but maybe not enough. He needs to find over a second, and we don't think that's going to happen. Let's have a look, see how Osso's running. And Osso's invalidated. That's going to be Osso out of Q2. Oh dear. Osso may be too busy preparing himself to smoke, as Tim said. Do not dive into the pits. Just cross the line. Cross the line. That's it, guys. Cross the line. Osso, you dare. I knew we were listening. Oh, God's sake, Osso. There we go, a few shots there, pint size with an invalid lap. Oh, there's Osso's car, and Luckman's just having a little battle to turn one in the background. So Osso out, Curly out, pint size out is probably one of the bigger names out there. It is not my day, okay. Osso, are you trying to mess with me then by pretending to dive in the pits? But there we go. They're saying, also, what the f are you doing? So, drivers leaving us. Also, Curly, pint size, Hindsight, and Kane. Kane, after what looked like a very, very good lap, has ended up dropping out. Fastest lap going to Gainful so far of a 19.1. Are we going to see 18s in Q3? I don't think we'll be far off. Yeah, I heard you on stream. Also saying I'm really bad, Claire. Claire didn't seem too happy with something. May see something in the reports room later on. I'm not particularly sure what happened. Didn't see anything. And absolutely everyone flooding out the pits here. Who's going to be the first out? Is going to be Gainful, first one out in Q3. It smells so bad. Everyone coming out very bunched up. They're going to try slipstream each other, or are we going to see them back off? Don't want to be following each other too close and cooking the tyres before the lap's even begun. And the Ferrari of Lucas not hanging about. He doesn't want to be experiencing any dirty air, so is he trying to get to the front of the pack, or is he happy to stick second in the train? No, he does. He wants to get to the front, and Gainful is just not letting him. There we go. Gainful does move over to the side, lets Lucas go first. How's this going to work though? Is Gainful going to stick with... It wasn't actually Lucas, it was Wee Rabbit. Yes, and we are seeing Gainful and Clay sticking with these guys, trying to get a bit of a tow maybe, but doesn't look close enough to pick up anything. Here we go, first run of the day. This time out goes to Wee Rabbit. Luckman lacking a bit this session. Dive into turn one. Big cut on the first part. Runs it wide in turn two a little bit. And these guys maybe not following enough for a slipstream, but maybe just feeling the effects of the dirty air. We will see as the laps come to close. Flicks it into the chicane, maybe just touches the grass a little bit, but gets away with it. Into Lesmo one, keeps it tight. And that's what you like to hear, just a little bit of that curb rubbing in the first one. See, actually from the gaps he was sort of pulling away a little bit from Gainful, so looking like a good lap. 211 into the Scaries, cuts the first part well, hugs the second, and then just a little bit loose on the last part of the Scaries. Took too much of the inside curb, just threw the car a little. Gets it turned in well to the parabolica, so didn't scrub off too much speed. Keeps it on the inside for the shortest run. How is this going to look? It's a 19.4 straight away. Gainful with a 19.7, and then Clay comes across the line with a 20.3. Seen some big differences in times already as Anderson jumps up to third place with a 19.9. Is instantly dropped down to fourth as Luckman goes second with a 19.6. Next across the line is going to be James Brown. Still got a fair amount of battery left for this run to the line. It's going to have timed it perfectly actually. It's going to just run out. Puts himself there with a 19.6. And what is Lucas going to do on the first run? Normally has left it. It's a 36. Oh, he's going for a cool lap first. So still to come out of the pits, Gold, Chip and Halsey, although Gold looks to be on the move now. Everyone else just maybe letting the track evolve just a little bit, but we will see. Lucas now into the Lesmo, very, very tight on the entry. Decides not to drop down too many gears, but just keeps the momentum going, almost coasts around these corners. See how he looks through the Ascaris. Cuts the first one well, hugs the inside of the second part, and then runs it wide on the exit. Very good looking tidy lap, but he has burnt a lot of battery here. Has he saved himself enough for this run to the line? Will obviously pick up a bit of battery as he course round the Parabolica, and then he's going to come across the line. It's going to be a 19.5, a little bit off the pace there by Lucas. You normally see something a little bit quicker. Gold now the only driver out on track to set a lap. Come out with no traffic at all. He's going to drain as much battery as he can with the DRS up and get that speed right up. Comes off the battery already. 213. Chrome liveried McLaren looking very nice around Monza. Round turn 3 we go, which isn't even really a turn for these cars. It is absolutely flat out, and that is a purple first sector. Gold looking very, very punchy in these qualifying sessions. Flings it into Lesmo 1. Picks his braking point for Lesmo 2. Cuts that inside curve. You see a lot of people are doing that. You can sort of use it as like a bit of a slingshot. Maybe hasn't looked after his battery enough. 33% into the Ascaris. Ooh, a little bit of a short shift there as well, which seemed to bog down a bit, lose the revs. He's now struggling. Oh, that is a very, very good line. Gets the car straightened up, battery burning, DRS open, and it's going to be a 19.4, and that is the fastest lap of the session so far. Gainful at the minute on an outlap. Chip also on an outlap. Hauser is sitting there waiting to go for a one-lap run, you would think. So we're seeing a few people mixing it up here. Normally we're seeing the likes of Lucas and Luckman up at the top. But so far the front row of the grid is going to be locked out by Gold and Rabbit, with Lucas and Luckman sat behind him, and that is not something they will want to see. There he goes, Gainful on a flyer now. James Brown also being very fast throughout qualifying. Keeps it in third through turns 1 and 2, and then uses the battery to pick up the revs. Don't mind that technique, but I would much rather be in second and just save that little bit of battery. We're going to need it. 200 mile an hour as we approach the first chicane, down to 70. This is looking like a good lap so far, very tidy. Seems to be leaving a bit of room on the exits, leaving it wide on the second Lesmo. Let's see what the sector 2 split is like. It's 3/10 up for Gainful. That's going to see him pushing that top 2. If he can keep this pace going and very smooth through the Ascaris. James Brown's about to start his lap as well. So as we turn in to the final corner, trying to keep it as tight as possible. Not enough battery, but it's going to be a very good time, and it's a 19.0, almost into the 18s. But all of a sudden, this qualifying has flipped on its head. Who have we got next across the line? It's going to be Chip. He just missed the split off, but he does need to get a solid lap in. You can see pretty much everyone into the 19s at this rate. It seems like a big issue trying to pick out when to use the battery for people on a 20.8 is going to keep him down in 8th. James Brown is going to be the next. Oh, and he's invalidated actually. He's still pushing, he's not going to get into the pits and out. He needs to just get that recharge on ASAP and try get a very, very good lap in. Anderson now on a flying lap. We'll have to keep an eye on James Brown. Oh, he did dive into the pits. surprised to see that. He could have potentially just gone for a cool-down lap and got another lap in. He's not going to get in and out in time to be able to put together a lap. Maybe just didn't have the fuel either, though, to be fair. There we go, Anderson coming down to the Ascaris. Will also be looking to mix things up. Hasn't been the quickest so far through qualifying, which we normally see him up the sort of top 3, top 4. At the minute down in 7th place. See the Red Bull of Chip just ahead, and James Brown has said that's enough. Anderson just ran it very wide, and a 19.5 is going to see him in 5th position. Clay, still also on the flying lap, has got a purple first sector. Is followed very closely by Hauser. Now that definitely will be a tow as we come into the faster straights, if Hauser can stay with. And at the minute, is staying with. There is definitely going to be a tow effect here as we come out of the Ascaris. Clay looking to improve his time, but might end up inadvertently giving Hauser the opportunity to pull off a very, very good lap. And at the minute, Luckman down in 6th. 2nd place in the championship, does not need to be qualifying 6th. Lucas, though, down also in 4th, and Clay runs it wide, whereas Hauser takes the shorter run to the line. Hauser does improve, but Clay, he improved, but couldn't get further ahead because he'd given such a tow to Hauser. Hauser up in 8th now. We've got Luckman on a run to the line, doesn't improve. Anderson is also finished, and Lucas is still on the flying lap. He's going to try snatch that pole at the death. But how's he looking? Maybe not enough battery, you would think. 206, 205, leading into the Parabolica. Let's see the run to the line. He decides to run it wide rather than keep it tight. Let's see what he picks up. It's going to be a 19.1. He puts it 2nd. Didn't quite get the pole position, and Gainful is going to take that pole. You'd say the biggest shocks there would be Luckman down in 6th and Anderson in 5th. Gold with a stonking lap early on cements his 3rd place. Not much in it between Gold and Rabbit. This is going to look a very, very feisty battle down into turn 1 on lap 1. We didn't see anyone hit the 18s either, which thought we would. Kelly says in the Discord chat, Gold, who's driving your car? So there is your top 10. Gainful and Lucas on the front row, with Gold and Rabbit just behind. Anderson and Luckman in 5th and 6th. James Brown, Hauser 7th and 8th. And rounding out the top 10 is Clay, who was giving a massive tow to Hauser. Comes in 9th with a 19.8, and then the only driver in the 20s is Chip. I'm going to be back in 2 seconds, guys. I'm just nip to the toilet while we wait to load up. So it is race time in Tier 3. Don't suppose anyone's got the forecast for me. Are we expecting any rain? Does seem to be some clouds in the air, but a dry start. We're going to see him mix up in strategies. Some people maybe start on hards, some people mediums. I would expect to see the likes of Luckman on the mediums, trying to get punches straight off. Obviously the big key here is sticking in DRS of each other. You don't want to be out of that 1 second, otherwise you are going to struggle down the straights. Just wait for everyone to pick this race setup now and what strategies they're going to go for. Undercut not as powerful on this track because it's a bit harder to gain time. But I do think we will see some DRS games. Just waiting for the guys to be ready before we get going. Also, Clay, someone give me the forecast. So let's have a look. Who's going to be starting on what tyres? The majority of the field going for the mediums straight away. Hindsight, Osso and Teabag opting for the hards. Makes sense for Teabag as he's going to be starting at the back of the grid. One thing we are going to have on is just the position change for the first lap, because we're going to see a lot of position changes, you would think. So there's your possible strategies. Saying a 2-stop, I reckon you could probably get away with a 1-stop on this track. It's not particularly hard on the tyres. We saw that in F2, that even on the inters that normally burn out like mad, the 1-stop was relatively comfortable. Unless it is a mandatory 2-stop, I don't think it is. Very much doubt we'll see anyone go for a free stop, unless there's a safety car and they've got a free stop. They may opt to then go to the softs for the end stint. I think the main thing to look out for here is going to be Lucas into turn 1. He's going to want to get past Gainful quickly and then get away to try to take control of this race as he did in Zandvoort. Luckman and Anderson are also two very punchy drivers, and they are going to want to progress very, very quickly. So as we see the cars now about to line up on the grid. Bit of a burnout there by Gainful just to get some temp in the rear tyres. He's going to position his car very attacking. He's going to look to get across to that right hand side, you would think. Whereas Lucas just looking dead straight down the track. Gold also, and Wee Rabbit, Anderson, Luckman, James Brown, Housey, everyone sort of positioned normally, apart from Gainful, who's pointing slightly off to the right. And we've got the green flag. Everyone is parked up and ready to go. So here we go. The lights come on. And they are out, and we are away racing. And so far Clay's got the jump on Housey, and oh, someone already pushed off to the right hand side. Seen a couple of cars nearly taken to the grass, and Rabi has got up past Luckman, Gold down 2 places already. It's getting very tight, and we're seeing some drivers have to take to the exit road already. But that is a brilliant start by Gainful. The two Ferraris will now look to work together, leading into the chicane. Luckman getting that start he wanted, Anderson not so much. Gold definitely didn't get the start he wanted, and Luckman already past Wee Rabbit, right on the back of his title rival of Lucas, but Gainful already nearly pulling out a second, and he has pulled out a second already over Lucas. That could be massive come the end of this lap. Housie, the biggest loser already, had to take the exit road into turn 1 and has dropped 10 places out of the points. Also did have an okay start, he's down 1 position. Riker with a very good start, despite not running in Q1, he's up to 11th already. Gainful with a 7/10 gap. No point looking at the fastest lap, no points for it, and we are not going to see it stay that way for very long, and everyone's sort of in each other's slipstreams already. No DRS just yet, but you would expect over the next couple of laps we're going to see some passes with the DRS. Everyone within DRS of each other at the minute, apart from Luckman, who's dropped out of that DRS from Lucas. Does need to get back in it. Lucas has got a great run here on Gainful. Is he going to make a move? Decides not to. And then it is just an absolute gaggle of cars, one after another, and Lucas will be wanting to put this pressure on very early. Feeling that dirty air throw through the first Lesmo, that could allow Luckman to get back towards the DRS point on Lucas, but it doesn't look like it will. Especially as Lucas now has the DRS wide open, right back on Gainful again. Oh, and Gainful just losing the car a little bit. That's going to allow Lucas a good run. He needs to stay in the slipstream. He needs to be able to keep as close as he can through the parabolica. Because it stays in what you would think would be close enough to get the run with DRS. Let's see how long it takes him to catch up to the back of Gainful. He's going to use a lot of battery as well. Gainful goes on the defensive. It's wheel to wheel as we dive into turn 1. Lucas looking to go around the outside, gets a great drive and gets that move done. That is a fantastic move. Normally you're looking for the switchback when you are that deep, but now Gainful is looking to fight back around the outside of turn 3, and he's got past him. He has got past Lucas down into the chicane. Lucas will now be looking for the switchback a bit, looking for a better run into the Lesmos, and this fighting will do Luckman the world of good. It just allows him to course back up to the back of these guys, and he has. It was 1.5, it's now 1.1. And this is a great battle. Clay as well has had a fantastic start, up from 9th to 6th. Gold still dropping back down in 8th now. He's had a shocking start to the race. And Lucas is all over the back of Gainful here. Is he going to try and get the move done into the back parabolic, or is he just going to leave it? He's left it, but he is stuck very, very close here within 3 tenths. There it is, 3 tenths of a second. He's going to get this move done before even the DRS line. Gets the DRS open and then coasts past Gainful, but is Gainful going to have enough of a toe to fight back? He isn't. He thinks better of it. He's going to stick back, catches right up to back though in the braking zone, and Luckman leading a huge DRS train there behind him. As we've seen people fight in the background in Nerf Pack. Jumped up quite a lot of places, but then had to back out. I think he did have to take to the exit road. He did, and he's got himself a 3-second penalty for it also. Down in 18th now. Lucas now looking to just stretch that lead away. Doesn't want Gainful to be getting the DRS. Gainful doing well to keep with him. Luckman just still biding his time, but he's got Anderson also all over the back of him. We had a yellow for a brief moment there in sector 2. We've got someone dropping down. Pint size maybe, did he have an issue there? It is no green flag though. Gameful, you wouldn't think he's going to be close enough to make a move here, but one person that is going to be close enough to make a move is Anderson, who switched this battle. 3-car battle for that third step on the podium. We come up to start lap 5. Anderson will be looking to get past Luckman. Luckman goes slightly defensive, but then knows he's got enough time to go back onto the racing line. Anderson with a slightly tighter turn in there, just gets a better drive. And he's right in the slipstream of Luckman. Is he going to have enough? He's going to have to make a move. Which way is he going to go? He's going to go down the inside for the chicane. Round the outside of turn 3 though. Side by side. And it looks like he may have also lost out to Wee Rabbi as well, as Rabbi's going to have the inside in Lesmo 1. And Anderson just tried to stick with him round the outside, couldn't do so. And that attack by Anderson has actually seen him lose a place. And this DRS train is now bunched right up, everyone within less than half a second of each other. And who's this making a move? This is Clay looking to make a move on Anderson now. Forces Anderson had to get off track and has now lost a lot of positions there. He's down into 7th now, 8th, as he just got swallowed up on the exit. Wee Rabbi also now challenging Luckman. Oh, he's decided to challenge into the Parabolica, which is going to give Luckman the DRS. And you would think that that position is going to go straight back. Who got the DRS? It was Luckman. He's going to be able to just stretch away from Wee Rabbi. Well, maybe not. Is Wee Rabbi just running that little bit less downforce? Ooh, and we see a bit of damage there. It looks like Clay has ended up losing the end plate. He has. Just a bit of a tap into the back of Wee Rabbi, and it has cost him big time. Gameful still also only 6/10 behind Lucas up front. Lucas not managing to pull away, but those two are sort of dragging each other from this chasing pack. 3.5 seconds now, the gap from Luckman up to Gainful. And these battles are seeing everyone sort of pull each other back into DRS, and in fact they are, from 3rd all the way down to 13th, all within a second of each other. We've seen a lot of people run wide on the exit on Lesmo 2 there. We're going to see some track limit warnings, you would think. Need to catch my breath after that eventful start. Just seeing the cars fling themselves around the Ascaris, and they see that gap. Pint Size has got himself a 3 second penalty, but he won't mind that while he's sat down the back. 9 seconds off of 18th. I'm wondering if those guys at the back, Kane and Pint Size, are struggling with some sort of damage. And Luckman here will want to keep an eye in his mirrors. Rabbi is looking very fast in a straight line, although he's not gaining that much coming into the braking zone. Clay just showing himself in the mirrors of Rabbi as well. Riker now has dropped back a little bit. He's up to 8th though, after starting in 19th. It's a fantastic run so far. Maybe want to be catching up to the back of his teammate Gold. Maybe would want to help his teammate. Doesn't look that way so far. And that gap out front is just stretching by about a 10th a lap. 1st and 2nd pulling away from 3rd. Is Luckman maybe going to look to do something in the pits? Maybe a bit of an undercut? Or is he maybe going to run a bit longer? Does he feel a bit more confident in those tyres? Nerfpat picks himself up a 3 second penalty also. Luckman now just really is stretching that gap. Wee Rabbi has actually got a penalty also, which you're going to see him drop down quite a lot if it stays as is. I would expect to see some of these gaps stretch out a little bit more. You can see the dirty air really working these cars, and James Brown's got a fantastic run on Clay here. And Wee Rabbi jumps into the pits already. He's gone for the early stop. Now we see James Brown pulling alongside Clay, gets past him before the braking zone. He's going to stay on that line, so he's not going to try come across. And that is a move well done. while this happens, Luckman will be very happy to just have the area to himself. No one with DRS behind him, although James Brown has now just come into the 1 second gap. James Brown does seem to have a very, very fast car underneath him because he is catching Luckman a little bit, and Luckman just extends out a little bit more. These cars are not as nimble with this full fuel load and the slower medium tyres. And Lucas has actually been overtaken for the lead of the race. Gainful has got ahead. Is Lucas going to look to fight this one back straight away? He's got a lot of battery saved up. He's got a yellow flag in sector 2, and it looks like Pint Size was moving slowly there. He is indeed moving very slowly. What's happened there? Pint Size just not moving at all, and he's got himself a 10-second penalty. Let's have a look. See what's going on with Pint Size at the minute. Car doesn't seem to be damaged, but he's just running wide. What is going on with Pint Size's car there? Really struggling. Let's get back into this action. Let's see how... as we see Dan also up 11 places. He has got a penalty, but he is running up in 7th. Anderson sets the fastest lap of a 22.5. There's battles all over here. Not really sure who to keep an eye on. Of course, the top two still battling away, but the big battle is going on for this 3rd place. Everyone in DRS of each other. Someone needs to make a move. They just need a good run out of the Parabolica and to drain the battery, and they could potentially be up a place. If anyone's going to, it's going to need to be James Brown. He's going to need to get past Luckman, and he wants to get past him quick. As Pint Size is retired, that would say to me potential rear wing damage. That's going to be our first pit and quit of the race. James Brown has saved up a lot of battery here. How's Luckman looking? 50%. As opposed to James Brown's 85, and he's on it early as James Brown. I don't think he's going to be close enough to make a move, especially if Luckman decides to burn, to be able to keep that lead. Yeah, he's not getting close enough here. Dan picks up a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. This pit lane does catch you out very, very easily. It comes at you very quick, despite what the braking line says. And we have a yellow in sector 1. Who's that? Looks like someone had to take the exit road. I think it was potentially Teabag. Teabag, by the way, up 13 places. Starting at the back of the grid, has got himself up to 7th. Mighty drive by Teabag. James Brown's picked himself up a penalty. That's not what he needed at this point in the race, especially while he's putting the pressure on for this final step of the podium. Luckman knows now he doesn't necessarily have to defend that as hard, because he knows Teabag has that. Not Teabag, sorry, James Brown has that penalty. These three now running within DRS of each other, although Luckman looks like he's just decided to burn some battery, and Teabag, as we say, after a fantastic drive, picks up a penalty. He does have that gap to house it though, so it's nothing to be concerned about just yet. Clay running in for the outside line, and James Brown now decides to take the pits, as does Luckman. Now these guys, I'm assuming, are going to go to the hard tyres and should be able to see out the rest of this race. So these pits sort of neutralise the race at the minute. There's no one really within a second of each other other than Lucas, who's actually just dropped out of DRS of Gainful. Quickly gets back into it. Wee Rabbit and these guys leaving the pits will closely follow each other. And Wab has a mighty run on Wee Rabbit. He's going to get this move done, you would think, as we dive into the braking zone. Oh, and gets that done very smoothly. Great racing there. Good respect between each other to just slot in behind. And this looks to be a good little battle that's shaping up. Anderson, who's been very fast this season, now under massive pressure by Wab. Is Wab going to try and make a move into the Ascaris? You wouldn't think so, but Wee Rabbit is looking punchy. He's going to try and get a move done into Ascari. Bit of wheel banging there, and decides to back out of it. Lucas has decided to be the first one to pit out front. He's going to try and get a bit of an undercut on Gainful. Gainful will be looking to just get a move on now, stick in a very, very fast lap, leave every bit of those tyres on the track. So here we go. See, Wab has the DRS and he was almost nearly past before we even got to the DRS zone. He's got past now. We're 3 wide there, coming down into turn 1. As Lucas trying to get punchy as well, manages to get by. It wasn't Lucas, it was Wee Rabbit. And these guys side by side, argy-bargy, wheel to wheel, and that's just allowed Wab to stretch out a little bit of a gap. Anderson's still fighting that one back against Wee Rabbit, and Rabbit's going to look for the later break and gets it done. That is a fantastic move, and now Dan also looking to take advantage of this and get past Riker. Doesn't manage to do so, and he's got his teammate not too far behind, may be able to help him out coming into the DRS zones. And that was a brilliant little scrap going on for what is probably going to be the more midfield sort of packs, the back ends of the top 10. Love this angle as we fly into the Ascaris. Dan absolutely all over the back of Riker here. Let's get on board with that actually. Look how close they are. He's just dropped off a little bit now, but just over a tenth, and look how close he gets up in the braking zone and then stamps on the power. And Riker though manages to get a better drive out of the exit. Dan maybe just running a little bit more downforce. Yeah, he's struggling to keep up down the straights, but he's definitely the faster car through the corners. See Rabbit now all over the back of Gainful. Gainful will be wary of this because he of course does have the net lead of the race. Also in P2, but he's yet to pit. Who was that had to bounce over curbs? It was Anderson. There's a lot of scrapping going on here. People just trying to defend all over the place. As we see there, Dan has got into the DRS of his teammate. Needs to get them cleared quickly because being stuck in this little battle is going to cost him big time. And Luckman has got past. He's got past his teammate and he's got past Riker. Gets it done quickly to try get in that DRS of Anderson, and he is in the DRS. He's right up the back. This is massive now for Luckman. Oh, Lucas actually has the net lead. He's already pitted. And he's 9 seconds ahead. Gainful is currently in 5th and is not really closing in on Wab, and he needs to. Wab has pitted and he's gone on to those hard tyres. Is he going to look to try keep in that position? Also still yet to pit, and so is Hindsight. We're just seeing battles all over here. Luckman now is looking to clear Anderson. He's in that tow. Has he got the speed? He hasn't. He just has to back off a little bit. You see them bunch up together. Lucas at the minute is just enjoying that clean air out in front. Gainful, because of all this, has dropped back by around about 4.5 seconds from Lucas after they was very, very close coming into the pits windows. Oh, and that looks to be an off-track overtake potentially there by Luckman, but maybe he's got away with it. He's looking to defend it already. And Hindsight picks up a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Not the only one to be caught out by the pits though. As we saw someone ghost there. Who ghosted? That was Gainful. Gainful's ghosted and has lost an absolute massive amount of positions. And Luckman now looking to get past wee Rabbit. Rabbit just had that confidence in the brakes to brake a little bit later, so Luckman just using a little bit of a love tap, hasn't cost himself any damage. Has, however, run out of battery. I'm not sure what happened to Gainful there. He seemed to ghost on the exit of the Parabolica. He's still losing positions. Does Gainful... What is going on with Gainful? His car is ghosting all over. Has Gainful lost connection? I think Gainful has lost connection. Something has gone on, or he's had to pause the race, but he's getting eaten up. He's gone from fighting for the lead to 14th. Absolute nightmare for him. And we have a full course yellow, and we've got a safety car. Now, what has caused the safety car? It looks like... What has it? It's Gainful. Gainful has DNF'd. And that is a real shame, because it was mighty qualifying. As Wabber's decided to pit it, even though he was on relatively fresh hards, also into the pits. Luckman will be very happy with this. It brings him right up to the back of Lucas again behind the safety car. I'll be very interested to see what happened to Gainful there. Virtually everyone pitting. Anderson also in the pits. Housie has decided not to pit. He either has gold. Don't necessarily need to. What tyres are we going to see fitted? It looks like the majority of the people are going onto a fresh set of mediums. This is really going to shake things up. We said that potentially a safety car could mix up the strategies. A lot of the people deciding that it probably is the best choice going to the fresh mediums. Have the front runners maybe missed out on an opportunity? They are on the slower, older, hard tyres. When we get towards the end of this race, they may be struggling a little bit compared to these medium runners. People this has worked for is definitely Dan. Dan now right up there in third position. He had a fantastic race, but the safety car coming out at just the right moment. So who's gone for the two-stop? Wab, Rabbit, Anderson, Riker, Teabag, Clay, Kane, Nerf, Chip, James Brown, Curly and Hindsight all now gone for the two-stop. Osso's decided to stay out on the one-stop strategy, and you look at the position changes. Dan made up 15 places, 18th on the grid to third. It was a fantastic drive, and Luckman after that not so good qualifying, but Dan has decided to pit. Maybe felt like it is better to go to the medium tyres. Didn't want to risk it too much. Hindsight's decided to go for the soft. Surely he's not going to get 10 laps out of those. And are we going to wait for the lights of Hindsight and Dan to catch up to safety car, or is it going to take us racing ASAP? We need to wait and see when the lights go out. I believe it is around the Ascaris, the lights will go out. Sorry, but Mercedes GT can go a lot quicker around this track. Lucas looks like he's maybe just trying to bunch that pack up nicely to try and get those cars at the back caught up so we can get racing. The lights would normally go out around this sort of area if we are back racing. And we are not. We're going to have another lap behind the safety car. No, we're not. The safety car decided to come in very, very late. That was a late decision by the FIA to come in this lap. So, when is Lucas going to go? He's now going. Is Luckman going to be able to stick with him? Is he going to get a tow? Definitely looks like he is. How much is he gaining? He's not gaining enough to be able to make a move, but he's having to defend from behind as well. And Housie makes his way up into third place. Fantastic move. Again, another driver who is having a fantastic race. How much has he gone up by? He's up by 5 positions. Wab up 12 as well. Can keep hold of that, it will be mighty. We've got a caution in sector 2. Looks like Teabag. Has he got going again? Yes, he has. We are back green racing. Now Luckman, his main job is to stick with Lucas, keep him under pressure, and Wab is all over the back of Housie. He'll be wanting that third position and then to try keep these guys in front. He does have a penalty currently sat waiting. Let's have a quick look at the penalties because there is quite a lot going on. James Brown picks himself up another 3 seconds. So as it stands, Wab would drop down to round about 7th, 8th position. Wee Rabbit would drop even further. Now tyres are going to play a massive part of this. Will want to get a move on, he'll want to get past Housie as quick as possible, but he's not really gaining on him down this back straight. Housie has pulled himself back into the DRS of Luckman, and Teabag picks himself up. Oh, and he's retired as well. He must have had some sort of damage. So at the minute we have 2 pit and quits, Teabag and Pint Size Gainful with a retirement. I'm not really sure what happened. Now out of the DRS and looking to try keep in, having to use up a lot of battery to do so. And Lucas though has also used a lot of battery. Lucas completely out of battery, and so is Luckman. These two really fight and stick with each other, whereas Housie has a little bit left and Wab has a ton. And it looks like Kane has also had a moment at the back. He has got going against that, so it will be green flag racing. We're not going to see another safety car just yet. Hindsight on those soft tyres now up to 12th. Is he going to be able to keep those tyres going well enough to be able to mount a charge up the field, or are they going to drop off very quick? As you can see, Luckman not managing to gain a lot of times down the straight. He's gained about a 10th. Diving into the braking zone. It's sat around 7/10. We've now got a yellow flag in sector 3. I think that was just for Kane again. We're seeing Nerf Pack come into the pits, and it looks like Kane is also here. We're going to see a pit and quit from Kane here. We haven't. He's continuing. Possibly just some front wing damage, but he's just going to swap out. He's gone onto the softs, and so has Nerf Pack. I believe that's a 3 stop for those guys. So who've we got battling at the minute? Osso still battling away in 7th. Looking to get past a few more cars. Got gold on the older hard tyres. Will be struggling soon enough. So looking to get these guys cleared ASAP. And also, touch wood, no penalty so far for Osso. Chip picks himself up a 3-second penalty. He's also dropped down behind Curly there. Must have had a moment in the Ascaris and had to cut. Teabag has left the session. Had already retired. Moves that into the pits. It's Gold. Gold deciding that he's maybe stayed out too long on those, and also now up to 6, but he's getting eaten up. Oh, manages to defend well. Riker couldn't get past. Riker on the slower hard tyres, but also needs to look after these to be able to see him out fully till the end of the race. Luckman has managed to get himself within half a second now of Lucas. This is a vital battle for the championship. Lucas just deploying well there. These guys struggling to manage the battery. Lucas has got himself built back up a bit. Luckman really struggling. Just can't seem to get above 30% at the minute. And Rabbi gets past Housie. Wab is also up into third. This is just a fantastic race for Wab. He's probably going to have enough tyres. Also, he needs to disappear from the cars behind, though. Otherwise, he's going to drop down significantly once the penalties are applied. What other battles we've got? We've got Clay gaining on Riker. Riker who's had a brilliant race from 19th on the grid to get up to 7th. Clay, who by the sounds of it had no practice around this track, as Kane picks up a 3-second penalty also at the back of the grid on those soft tyres. And looks to maybe have a bit of an issue because Wab is now within the DRS of him. And also not fighting that too much against his teammate. Clay just going very deep into turn 1 there. Looks like Housie, if he keeps with them, may find himself on the podium due to penalties. Murph sets the fastest lap of the race on those soft tyres at 21.2. Only 2 seconds off of the pole lap. Hey, taking a lot of the grass. It's allowed Osso to catch up to him. And again, on the second Lesmo, takes up a lot. And Wab actually now is absolutely hunting down Luckman dropped off now. Lucas just managing the race very well at the front of the grid, just costing the cars behind him time, and just keeping them in the dirty air. And Wab has got a very good run out of the last corner, and he's definitely got more battery, you would think. He does, and he's going to have a fantastic run now on Luckman. Luckman will need to look to defend, but can do nothing about it as Wab makes his way up into second place. Luckman just a little bit more confident on the brakes, gives the space, and Wab has the battery to then pull away. Now can Rabbi do anything about it? Can he also get past Luckman? Doesn't look like he can, but they are following each other very, very closely. This is a mighty drive from Wab up into the top two. Penalties at the minute though, we'll see him drop right back out. Luckman knows if he can just keep this clean and get no penalties, he will get that podium. But we've seen that Luckman is struggling with the battery. I do think we will see Wee Rabbit get past down the pit straight, because he is all over the back. Wab now has got himself around about an 8 to 9 tenth gap. Chip picks himself up another 3 seconds, and that dirty air just costing Wee Rabbit there on the entry to the Parabolica. Now burning the battery. Will we see him gaining enough on Luckman? He is gaining very, very quick, but it's not going to be quick enough, you would think. Whoa, and he's just driven straight into the back and costing himself big time. Housie will have seen that. It was a very, very late braking move, and Luckman now looking to fight back against Wab. Lucas has checked out a little bit. He's almost 3 seconds ahead now, and we've seen this gap. The only people in DRS of each other within the top six is Luckman on Wab. Now Wab needs to break that and try and disappear up the road, especially with the penalties. And he has broken it, but Luckman does get the DRS first. Where else have we got battles? We've got Riker still chasing Clay. Been a lot of to and fro in here as Clay picks himself up a 3 second penalty. Riker will be very happy to see that. Doesn't necessarily need to go on a massive charge. He just needs to stay with him. Luckman is just not gaining at all. On Wab, really, he's still about 8/10 off. Are we going to see Riker make a charge on Clay? I think we are. Clay doesn't have the DRS. Riker does, and the move is done already. Riker up to 6, especially with no penalties as well. Also, he's going to see himself move up a position as it stands. This has definitely been one of the more eventful races to be commentating on this season. Lots of overtaking going on, some fantastic drives. Let's have a look at those position changes because there's been a lot of them. Wab up 14 places to second. Riker up 13 also to 6th place. This is an unreal drive. Gold having a night to forget. Tale of two halves. Ridiculously good qualifying, but then has absolutely fallen apart in the race. Dropped down to 15th. And Luckman is dropping back off Wab now. Is Wab getting a move on? And is he going to pull that 3-second gap? Is it just 3 seconds he needs? It is. He really will want to get a move on. It's up to 1.6. He's got 2 laps to do so. It's looking like Lucas has got this wrapped up. Where else have we got battles down the field? Housey is trying to close in. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 1. What's happened there? It's quickly gone. It looks like it was maybe Kane getting lapped. What's going on? We have got what looks to be, is it a Merc? No. It's all cleared up. We are back green light racing, and Howes is still trying to hunt down Rabbit. Doesn't need to necessarily. And Riker also in that little pack. Rabbit's picked up another penalty. That will see him drop down quite a lot of places. That's going to be 6 seconds for Rabbit. It's going to see him fall considerably off of where he is at the minute. And he's picked himself up another. That's 9 seconds now for Rabbit. He's going to drop all the way down to round about 10th position. Such a shame after such a good drive to get up into 4th. There's not really any battles going on at the minute other than Riker trying to hunt down Hauser. He does seem to have the run here. Oh, and Wabby's picked himself up a 10-second penalty and has retired from the race. What has happened there for Wabby? That is a shame. Wab now, more importantly, has got up to 2.1 clear of Luckman. Luckman needs to keep it clean. Can Wab get that 3 seconds he needs? He is still going to get a podium for as it stands. It'll be a podium for Wab, but it's looking like Lucas is going to take the race win. Let's jump on with Lucas as we see him coming round to the Ascari corners for the final time. Well controlled again. He managed to get in the lead early on in the race. Bit of a battle going on with Gainful, but then Gainful, unfortunately with some issues, did have to drop out. As he rounds the parabolic for the final time, he's going to come across the line with a comfortable gap of 3 seconds even after the safety car and extend his lead in the championship. Wab coming home to take second. But Luckman is going to take that with the penalties. It's a 1-2 for the top 2 contenders in the championship. Again, Lucas and Luckman. Wab takes the 3rd step on the podium. Housey with a very good drive from 8th on the grid takes 4th. Riker with a mighty drive from 19th up 14 positions takes the 5th spot. What a race we had there. Very well managed by Lucas out front. As soon as he got there, he just managed to keep everyone at bay. The dirty air must have been playing a huge part through some of these high-speed corners. Unfortunately, guys, we won't be having the podium chats tonight. I do need to disappear. I have had the week off and I need to get ready for work in the morning, but an early start. We see the top three. No problem at all, Tim, of Lucas, Luckman and Wab on that third step of the podium. So there is your fastest lap goes to Nerf driver of the day, Riker. I think that is probably going to be my driver of the day as well. That is a mighty drive, very closely followed by Wab. Let's have a look at these final results. Lucas and Luckman and Wab take the podium places. Howsey, Riker, Clay, Anderson, Osso, Hindsight and James Brown round out the top 10. Quite a few DNFs, unfortunately. As we saw, I think only around about 13, 14 cars finished that race. So guys, thank you very much for joining us as we move into the final 3 races of the season. Next week we are in Texas for the Circuit of the Americas. Look forward to seeing you again for another fantastic race. I'm sure we'll have a great race there. We will see you next time.